How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today I drove my SL55 so hard, I broke it. So some of you may remember that a little while back, I took my SL55 and I deleted every single part of the expensive ABC suspension. I replaced the hydropneumatic system with some more conventional BC Racing coilovers and VVK sway bars. And that made this car a little bit lighter, but it handled a lot better. So I decided to take it on a shakedown run, and it was a lot of fun. The car was having fun, I was having fun, fun was had by all. But I think I might have had a little too much fun, because on one of those shakedown runs, you guys definitely didn't see this because it got edited out, but this happened. Woo. Might have to up the suspension by about a quarter inch. I believe I may have developed an exhaust leak. Sounds a little louder than it did. That's what happens when you push the car harder, you know? Stuff breaks. No, I was not hearing things. I did actually develop quite a bit of an exhaust leak, and when I came home and started again, just to make sure I wasn't going crazy, this is what it sounded like. To add insult to injury, I realized that my tire was going flat really quickly after that run, and fortunately my tires weren't punctured, and that was very fortunate because my tires, I got brand new ones for the front, but the wheel was actually at fault. So this is my old wheel, and as you can see, this thing has seen better days. Right here is where it was repaired by a previous owner, and I hate repairs like this, especially on aluminum wheels, because they're very prone to cracking if it's not done right, and this definitely was not done right. So what ended up happening was I hit that same bump that made the hole in my exhaust, and that cracked this remaining piece right here. And yeah, air just escaped through there pretty quickly. So by the time I got home, I was down to about 10 PSI and then about 0 the next day. Instead of fixing this basket case of a wheel, I elected to get something a little bit newer. Well, actually it's this, but in way better shape. I got an identical wheel. Yay! But this one is very clean, and it's also pretty expensive considering that I don't really like these wheels. This one was about $400, and it is a used wheel, but it's in really good condition, and I had the same tire put on, and this tire is brand new, so all the tires are more or less new on this car. But this one has had no repairs, and that should be a lot better than this piece of crap. But I know you didn't want to watch a video of me just changing one wheel. Now we're gonna put this car in the air and we're gonna try to see where that exhaust leak is actually coming from, and hopefully we can fix it today. Well, I found the problem, and it did take me a little while. I did find it off camera, but you guys can see what I found. Now this is the catalytic converter. It is one of the primary cats. There's one right here and one right here. You guys can't see it because it's off camera, but it looks exactly like this one. These cats have common problems in which the welds surrounding them break. And what happened with my car is that it looks like I hit something here, because there is a little bit of a dent. I think I probably was a little too exuberant with my driving. It looked like I hit something here, and then this part just came off. Now it looks like it's all in one piece, but that's because I loosened the bolts because I have to sort of repair this. But the way I found it was like this. Like that. There was a sizable gap here, and all the exhaust was just escaping through here, making that nasty exhaust noise. And also, I'm wondering why I didn't get a check engine light, because the O2 sensors shouldn't be reading within spec, so that's a little bit weird, but this is something that I can definitely fix, at least for the meantime, because I am planning on doing a full header install in the coming months or weeks, or whenever I can get my hands on a header. But for now, I just want to drive the car around, and that means fixing this. So thankfully, nothing was really badly damaged. And what I can do is, since there's only like 3 or 4 spot welds holding this factory cat together, I can just put some more spot welds into place and hopefully it should be good to go. But you guys have seen my welds before. I have been practicing and I did get new welding wire. I'm not using the Harbor Freight flux core. I'm now using a flux core wire that I got from Home Depot, and that is also a little bit bigger and it should help with porosity and also basically making the welds not look entirely like chicken crap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just clean up everything, all the edges around here with a angle grinder, and then I should be able to tack weld this shut, and then I think we should be good to go. Now, one thing I also did was I made sure to disconnect both batteries. Since this car has 2 batteries, I don't want any weird electrical glitches happening because I'm putting a lot of current through one of the components of the car. So yeah, if you guys are welding exhaust or anything like that, just take the 30 seconds or whatever it is to take off the negative battery terminal and make sure that you're not doing any harm to your electronic components, especially if it's a car like this that has really, really fragile components. Enough rambling, let's get to welding. Hopefully this should look okay. All right, that actually does not look too bad. It's not any professional sort of work, but it looks a lot better than what I did on my S500, which was literally the first time I'd ever welded an exhaust in my life. But this is the second time, and I took a little bit more time. I also used a little bit better welding wire, that also helps. But for those of you who want to start welding, I can offer you a very, very novice tip. Make sure that you start a little puddle, and then from the puddle you start making these little half moon shapes. And with those half moon shapes, it's theoretically supposed to look like a roll of dimes or quarters or nickels or whatever currency you feel like. But mine doesn't look like that, but it almost looks presentable. And it definitely will hold, at least until I get some headers onto this car. Because after all, these cats and this exhaust manifold setup is very restrictive for this car, and I want to make some power. So the last thing I have to do is basically just put this exhaust right back up, and hopefully it shouldn't make any more noise. All right, the car is done and it is on the ground. It's a moment of truth. Fingers crossed. Nice. Oh boy. That is a job done, ladies and gentlemen. That is a good job. There is no more exhaust leak. Let's rev it a little bit. Yep, exhaust leak is totally gone. So we spent absolutely $0 on that mod. Let me get out of the car and whew, that feels really good. Before I let you guys go, I have to tell you that I did do the same thing on the other side, even though the other side wasn't showing any major signs of cracking. There was a hairline fracture, and knowing those catalytic converters, I just gave it a little bit of prophylactic welding just to make sure that it's that much stronger. But this should not give me any issue, and I love the fact that we didn't spend any money at all. Well, other than the wheel, it was like $400. But the exhaust was a freebie, so you guys can do that on your own. If you have the same issue on Mercedes in this era, around the mid-2000s era, it is a very, very common thing. It happened on the S-classes, the SL classes, E-classes, C-classes. All those classes had this problem, so you guys can just weld that up at home. But I'm rambling, it is late, and I will leave you there. If you like this video, and I hope you do, consider subscribing. You can hit that subscribe button at the bottom of my video. Actually, I'm not sure where it is because you might be watching this on mobile and it might be somewhere else, but find the subscribe button, hit it, and also hit that little bell next to the subscribe button. That'll make you part of my notification squad. That gives you early access to all my stuff, meaning that as soon as I upload stuff, you guys get a notification and you guys watch it first. And I do love the comments that you guys put, and it's mostly first, second, second, and also third. If you'd like to contact me for any reason, you want to ask me questions, you want to tell me what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right, you want to send me well wishes, or you want to send me something to test or review, you can email me at asktavarish@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, that's @TheRealTavarish, and Facebook.com/asktavarish. I'm really easy to find, and I do read every single message. But until next time, this is me telling you that on this car especially, it's in the home stretch. Actually, it's not in the home stretch at all. It still has a lot of work to do, especially on cars like this. You guys need to wrench every day.